Welcome to NFL Picks Week 15, sponsored by Rayon Cognac. Join the movement. I'm going to have my guy here talk about Rayon Cognac. Ice, you got the floor, brother.
Rayon Cognac's African American owned cognac. That means, yeah, that's what it says. Not mad at ambassadors or sponsors, but it is African American owned. It's been around for 6 years. It's ships to like 47 states. Just moved into the great state of Ohio, where it can be purchased now in stores in Ohio at 4 different cities. And if you want to learn more about this smooth XO cognac, this is XO, so that means it's minimum in the cask or the barrel that's aged 10 years or more. Very smooth, very easy going. Again, new for a lot of people. Check it out. You can check it out by making at least check out the website www.rayon, Rayon cognac.com. Again, rayoncognac.com. It's worth the try. Join the movement. You down?
I'm definitely down. Love this stuff. Love this stuff. You'll see that on our ticker as well as the leaderboard on our ticker. There's going to be some changes this week. So let's get right into it in week 15. Atlanta at Tampa Bay. Everybody's going with Tampa Bay. Everybody's abandoning the Falcons at this particular point. Baker is coming back and he's playing really well. The next game on tap is Cleveland at Chicago. And I think everybody is going with Chicago, even though they dropped the ball yesterday.
Like I said, I watched the game. I chose Chicago. I really thought they could win. I don't know why, but they can't win them all. But I think they will be ready to step up and go after Cleveland. Shador's playing well. I think he's starting for the rest of the season. But Chicago really they need this game. They need some get back because losing to Green Bay was tough. They should make the playoffs, but they want to keep their standing, be in good standing in that same area where they're at right now. You need to win this game.
Yeah, because they dropped from the number 1 seed to the number 7 seed, and Detroit is on the outside looking in, and they want in on the playoffs. They really want in. So everybody, I was explaining this to Chicago Bear fans yesterday, they got that number 1 seat on their back. Everybody's coming after them, especially teams that are in the hunt in the playoffs. Next game on tap is Baltimore at Cincinnati. And Papa's going with Cincinnati. I'm going with Cincinnati. Dread, Windhawk is going with Cincinnati. And everybody else is going with Baltimore. You got Southside Al. Hey, get well soon, Southside Al. You have Ice, Baller, Drake, and Yuzamama all going with Baltimore. I just don't trust Baltimore at this particular point. I thought they were going to make a run, but I mean, Lamar's not playing like Lamar. They're not. I think they're getting out coached. So I had to go with Cincinnati at home on this one.
Yeah, I'm gonna tell you why I had to look this up because I'm gonna, you got to look at certain things, and that guy's what guides you. I really wanted to pull the trigger and go for Cincinnati, especially with the way Joe Burrows is playing lately. But I remember something earlier in the year. Who won the first game?
Yeah.
Cincinnati did.
Yeah.
Cincinnati did, and I think that Baltimore needs to win, and I don't see Cincinnati beating them twice. That's why I chose Baltimore. Simple and plain, just like that.
All right. Next game on top is the Los Angeles Chargers at Kansas City. And Kansas City, I texted the group last night. I'm like, if they lose this game, the dynasty is pretty much over. And they were trying hard to win, but Andy Reid made some bonehead calls. And I was like, I couldn't believe it. You had Rodney Harrison and, the coach scratching their head at the end of the game. And I guess Coach Reid said, hey, I thought we could make it, but you put your defense in a really bad situation. They were playing lights out, and you needed to punt the ball. You had over 10 minutes left. You could have punted the ball, got better field position, and possibly tied the game up or score to win the game, but I didn't understand it. So you got everybody going with the Los Angeles Chargers except Ice and Drake. So why are you picking Kansas City after seeing that debacle last night?
Old habits die hard. Right? And I know, I can only imagine the number of losses I've taken this year because I chose Kansas City, even if I keep saying it. But in this particular week, the reason why I chose them is because I don't believe in the Chargers. The Chargers always find a way to lose games they're supposed to win. Everybody's beating up on Kansas City. It's your opportunity. I don't think they have it in them. I said I didn't think it was going to be Houston's turn, but they did. Could be wrong again, but I don't think so this week, especially with the quarterback for the Chargers. I think they're gonna find a way to lose it. So I'm gonna stick with KC.
Taylor Swift, help! Yeah. Kelsey not looking good. I mean, he's dropping balls left and right, dropped one into an interception. The receivers can't catch the ball. Mahomes is doing the same thing I said last year. It's like he's running around back there. That's not good. The offensive line can't block for him. It's like, this is not good. And to me, it's the end of an era. I have to come to grips with it. It's the end of the era, in my opinion. Next game on tap is Buffalo at New England. Everybody's going with New England except Dredd. And I had a buddy last night who said, hey, it's going to be New England and Chicago. It's going to be a remake of the 1985 Super Bowl. And I'm like, pump the brakes, pump the brakes. But Buffalo, they disappoint. They came back and won that game against Cincinnati yesterday. But New England's looking strong. And a commentator, I forget which one who's saying this, he was saying, hey, the defenses are showing out in the league now. And if you have a great defense, you can win it all. You can actually control teams and win it all. And New England has that type of defense. Your thoughts on New England in this game?
Yeah, Buffalo, like I said, has been up and down, but Buffalo has the ability to step up and win this game because they've been on that large scale, right? That large stage before. But the one thing about I like New England, I like about them has been consistency. They play with grit. They're very gritty. They play with guys that you never really heard of unless you may remember from college. I know that they had Stevenson is the running back, right? So they had him, he gets hurt, and then they come right back and they bring out Travion Henderson, former Buckeye, and they don't miss a beat. They just keep moving forward. You bring in back guys like Stephon Diggs has stepped up and really showing out, and the defense is stepping up too. So collectively, they've been playing like a well-oiled machine for Vrabel, and he's playing old school, hard-nosed football like the way he learned when he was at Ohio State and when he was out there as the head coach before with the Titans. And these guys believe in him, and that's why they're winning ball games. So with all that being said, I chose them one because they're at home.
Yes, that's why
I
I
chose
chose.
them at home, and Buffalo's been up and down, flim-flamming, if you will. So that's why I chose them.
Yeah. Next game on tap is Washington at the New York Giants. Everybody's going with the New York Giants except Yinzer Mama and Dread. I could not go with Washington. I don't know if it's the Campbell Chunky Soup curse or what, but they just don't look like the same team that I picked to win it all this year. And I don't know what's going on with them. And I probably the coaching staff doesn't know what's going on with them either. But I got to put my faith in the Giants in this one, and they're playing at home. Your thoughts?
Yeah, unfortunately, Mariota has not really been able to do a lot. Washington brought up their quarterback, and when you put him out there, he eventually gets hurt. So now you're stuck with what you had before, right? And the Giants have played the greatest football, but they can find a way to win this game. They can. And it depends on who's quarterback. I don't even know who's quarterback. Is Dart still back there
Oh,
now again?
still back there. Yep.
Okay, because hell, I don't know if I thought he was on the IR or whatever. I mean, because Jameis Winston's getting all the attention. Hell, celebrating that he's still celebrating the touchdown dance he had 2 weeks ago. I mean,
I still
I
can't
don't know what's
believe
going on.
they let him run for a touchdown. I still can't believe they let him catch it. I can't believe that. I'm still that highlight is like seared to my brain of him running so slow and getting that touchdown.
But when it's sad is when that's your highlight plays of the year, right?
Yeah, that really
But
is.
even with that being said, I still had to select the Giants because without their starting quarterback, I think Washington was in trouble.
Yeah, and they need to be investigated because they get a lead and lose it in the last few minutes of the game. Giants need to be investigated. Next game on tap is the Las Vegas Raiders at Philadelphia. Philadelphia got to win this game. They got to win. They can't lose against the Raiders. Everybody's picking Philadelphia. If Philly loses, it's a wrap. It's a wrap. I don't care if they're in the playoffs or not. It's a wrap for them. If they lose against the Raiders, it's all. We don't even need to talk about this. Next game on tap is the New York Jets at Jacksonville. Everybody's going with Jacksonville. They are leading in that division. Who knew? Who knew that they would be as good as they are? And they played consistently. They play hard, and they find themselves leading their division. Next game on tap is Arizona at Houston. Everybody's going with Houston. And I said it earlier. Teams like New England and Houston, the defense is really kind of coming out. And Houston's coach, remember we were talking about he may be on the hot seat, and now all of a sudden he got these guys playing inspired ball. CJ's playing inspired ball, running, throwing, I mean, doing his thing. And now Houston is in the playoffs right now. And I don't see Arizona. They're talking about the little guy going to play baseball after the season. I don't know what they're going to do, but I remember a couple of years ago they looked very promising, and now they just look flat. And I just don't see them winning any games in the rest of the season. To be honest with you, talk about that Houston offense and defense, man.
Yeah, I think it really helps though when your players are healthy. How about that?
Yeah,
Because CJ Stroud was out for a while. He had some other guys. I mean, hell, we're waiting on Joe Mixon for the longest time, right? So a lot of guys were not healthy. But when they're healthy, that coach knows how to motivate them and say what you want to. 5 straight wins. I didn't even know at that time that they won 5 straight. They're doing something right. So don't know how far they will go, but the fact is they're still have found their way back in the playoff contention is very impressive.
right. Got Green Bay in the next game at Denver, and it's hard to beat Denver in Denver. Me, Pop, Southside Al, Ice, and Yinzamama going with Denver at home. Everybody else is going with Green Bay. I guess they were impressed with the win yesterday, but I don't think, Green Bay tends to, play mature at times and then immature later. I don't know if they can go up to Denver with that hard hitting defense. And that's a team that will come back on you, and they will make you struggle. They will make you look, ordinary, and then they'll pull out a win. Your thoughts?
No, you're absolutely right when you said that. The one thing that we know that the defense for Denver is going to apply pressure the quarterback love. They're going to go after him. And the question is he going to be able to handle it? And not only can he handle it, but will the rest of his teammates get behind him and push back? Denver's football team this year is a bunch of bullies. And I mean that from the standpoint of just talking about their style. They play ugly football and they plan on you being too soft or them to being able to bully you and win. And that's why they're not really impressed about trying to win by 28 points. If they trail even as early as late as the third quarter, they come back and try to find a way to beat you and beat you up by doing it. So that's why I chose Denver.
All right, next game on tap is Detroit at the Los Angeles Rams. Pop is going with the Rams. Also, Southside Out going with the Rams. Windhawk, Ice, Baller, and Yuzumram are going with the Rams. Me, Drake, and Dredd are going with Detroit. And so I'm going with Detroit for two reasons. One, they need to win to get in the playoffs. They are on the outside looking in, and Chicago's sitting in their seat. They want that. They want that. They want that playoff spot. It'll be very embarrassing if they don't make the playoffs. The other thing is, I made my pick with Detroit, and then I found out that Dredd made a pick. When he picks Detroit, they don't lose. They don't lose. So we going with Detroit, baby. Let's go. Motor City. Gary Bean, I know you're going to be out there somewhere tailgating. Let's go, baby. Let's go. Your thoughts, man.
And I love all that banter and fanfare. Gary Bean, I got love for you, brother. W. Wilberforce in the house. We love you. But let's keep this real 100, man. Detroit is a totally different beast away from home.
There they are.
And I was so mad at myself that I did not pick them to win that recent game at home because I
It's
knew they,
Dallas. Yeah.
yeah. But I got caught up in the hype. I drank the Kool-Aid of the Cowboys for the week.
You and Bubba
No,
Gov and a bunch of people.
yeah. And I wasn't about them being special or nothing like that. I was just like, well, maybe they can get this. And no. But Detroit though, clearly they're just different at home. And the Rams have been playing really good football. I like the Rams. They've been adding a few. They had a few injuries, but they found ways to put some bubble gum and duct tape on a few things, and they found ways to win. And I like them. I like the way that they play at home. And I'll say this, get out of here on this particular note on this game that I just say Detroit's just not the same when they lost their coordinator as the head coach of Chicago. They're just not the same team.
Both of these quarterbacks played for the other team, so it should be interesting who wants it more in this game. All right, the next game on tap is Carolina at New Orleans. Nobody's going with New Orleans, not even Dredd. He usually picks New Orleans at home. Everybody's going with Carolina in that one. Next game on tap is Tennessee, who got a win against Cleveland. Investigate the Cleveland head coach. everybody's going with San Francisco over Tennessee. Cleveland could have won that game, and I don't know what the head coach was doing. And that's all I'm going to say about that. Please investigate him. For the last couple of games, he's been making some crazy, crazy play calling. Next game on tap is Indianapolis against Seattle. Man, Danny Dimes was playing really well, man. Best season ever, and then he gets hurt. He's out for the season. But everybody, I heard Pop say 12th man, 12th man. So he's going with Seattle also. Everybody's going with Seattle. Next game on tap is Minnesota at Dallas. Now, Windhawk and Yenzerman was going with Minnesota. Pop was really tempted to go with Minnesota because he's done with the Cowboys. A lot of people are tempted to go with Minnesota because of the debacle last Thursday with the Dallas Cowboys, but everybody else is going with the Dallas Cowboys, except out of the 9, there are 2 of us who are not, and that's Windhawk and Yenzerman. But you got to think the Cowboys got to play with some pride or play for their jobs for next year. They're pretty much out of the playoff picture at this particular point, slim and none. Your thoughts on this?
Yeah, it was because I chose Minnesota last week and I was like, woo. But this week it's like I really wanted to choose them, but Dallas at home, defense is improved, right? Defense is improved. And if it's an on and off week for CD Lamb, if he's available, who's available, I think they can find a way to win this game because I think what's going to happen is the Dallas defense will put more pressure on the quarterback and it starts to make him make bad plays because right now, when the quarterback struggles, the receivers turn off, right? They just don't believe in it. So I think that's enough for Dallas to win. If they play the protocol, and maybe they may feel that they just might have an outside chance at the playoffs. I don't think so, but maybe that's a little pride. And plus, they're still dealing with maybe play with a pride based on losing their former teammate.
Right.
Their path that passed.
Maybe. Last game on tap is Miami at Pittsburgh. Everybody's going with the Steelers. The only reason why I picked the Steelers is Tua doesn't really play well in the cold. And I think Miami's going to try to run the ball. I don't think it's going to work. And that's the only reason why I picked the Steelers. Other than that, I would have went with Miami on this one. Your thoughts?
No, 100%. The only reason why I chose Miami last week because they played the Jets, right? That's the only reason why. Other than that, you always choose the other team. I'm not saying Pittsburgh is really great, but they have enough to be Miami. Miami is so discombobulated. Let me say that for y'all one more time. Discombobulated. Yeah, discombobulated. Anyway, so they just don't play well together at certain times. And a team like Pittsburgh will come after and try to beat them up and force them into mistakes. And that's in Pittsburgh, right?
Yeah, it's in Pittsburgh. It's going to be cold.
Yeah. It's going to be cold. Is it a night game?
It is the Monday night game. Yep.
Oh, yeah. That's a wrap. That's still coming off the winter.
Pittsburgh usually wins on Monday night. Yep.
And then the refs start getting that free hot chocolate. Games calls start changing. Everything. It's a wrap.
Thank you to our sponsor, Rayon Cognac. Join the movement. Check out our Facebook page, The Squad. You'll see Rayon Cognac. If you want to become a sponsor, hit us up on our Facebook page and become a sponsor. But we will see you next week for week 16 of NFL Picks with The Squad. Peace.